My name is KJ Black. I am the coaching fellow working with the offense and the quarterbacks.
Here we go.
First year here with the LA Rams.
Good. Good look right there. Good job with the cadence. Right hash, 11-11. Right hash, 11-11.
I kind of heard it from a friend that he said, hey, you should apply for this Bill Walsh deal. I'm doing it. You should do it too. So I really applied, not expecting much of it, just doing it just to, say that I did it. I got a call from, Thomas Brown, and we kind of had a short interview. He was like, man, he said, you're exactly what I'm looking for. He said, man, I want you to come do this internship during training camp and get a chance to put you in the quarterback room and let you learn from, Sean and at the time, Kevin O'Connell, who was the head coach now in Minnesota, and be in that room and just learn.
Regardless of the situation, you always want to be put in a position to be successful that can ultimately lead to being a coordinator, being a head coach at any level, whether that's in the National Football League, you make a decision to go to different levels of play. And I think that that's the most important thing, is placing guys in opportunities to be able to grow, both in an entry-level position, but also to be able to be in some of those leadership roles. But it's the pathway, to get to that point, I think is important.
My mindset right now is I can't fail. But this is really the first year that they've used that coaching fellow, right? So I can't fail because I'm setting an example that, hey, guys like me that look like me can do this job and could be a strong candidate to be a part of somebody's coaching staff going forward. Do a rep, you're gonna kick here, and 89's gonna rep. So for me specifically, I'm the drawer, so the staff will come up with the plays that they think will be successful, specifically in the passing game. So early on in the week, I'm doing self-scout stuff. So I'll be tagging the game from the previous week. I'll be making cut-ups, making sure that those are available if somebody needs to go back and look at some previous game cut-ups. Mondays and Tuesdays is all about self-scout and trying to get ahead from an opponent breakdown standpoint. Then I usually get the plays Tuesday night on a good week, maybe Wednesday morning, and they got to be ready to go within a few hours.
We talk about the pass pictures. It's one of his big responsibilities. That's something that every single player, skilled player on our offense looks at, studies at every single night. Those are the plays that we have up every week. So, we always talk about taking the pictures to life and creating something different than just plays on a picture, right? The detail that we talk about on these plays, he needs to display in his work. It's really like a piece of art, and it's design. And he's a big part of that design because he's the one that's truly putting it together for our players to see.
And after that, I try to prepare for scout team. So I run the offensive scout team for the defense. I'll try to get the cards from them, put it in our language so that when I go out there in front of the scout offense, I can say it in our terms so that they can think faster and play faster while we get in and out of the huddle.
Kind of like the Cougar we used to do, toss 18 Cougar. Where you're going to be the inside sideboard for the
That's a level of responsibility and coaching that I did myself, Zach Robinson did, Shane, we all did, kind of growing up in this organization. And it's an opportunity to coach because you're the head coach or offensive coordinator of the look team. So you're out in front of the guys, you're coaching them up, you're leading.
Should be right in the middle, right in the middle. Hey, 12 in the huddle, 12, 89, 85.
I mean, he understands the game. He knows he's coached and played. To bring that level of experience, gives me a new perspective on different things that I may not see or they may not see.
Former quarterback, right? So he understands the game. He understands how to communicate to offensive linemen, to receivers, to tight ends, quarterbacks of the different rooms. So he has a natural skill set of communication. That's something that was a respect right from the beginning that you kind of have or you don't in a lot of ways, and KJ does have that. So I think that will really help him as he moves forward throughout this process, continuing to grow in that role.
Bro, I took hits too now. I keep telling you I'm faster than you, so I took hits too when I was running. I still feel it.
Will the real Prairie View please stand up? And the reason I say that is if you go back to the decade of the 90s, there was an 8-year period in which Prairie View lost 80 games in a row. Over the last 3 years, they've only lost 5, and this year they have an opportunity to do something they've never done since 1964, and that's win a SWAC championship. Look at KJ Black. For the last 3 weeks, he has been the SWAC Offensive Player of the Week.
Once I decided to leave Western Kentucky, I had a couple offers. One of them, or a couple of them, were from HBCUs. So I took visits to North Carolina Central and Prairie View, and to be honest with you, Prairie View just felt like home. And if you were to go back in 2009 and really look at what they had to offer, it was nothing that you could touch. I mean, the facilities they literally hid the facilities from me on my visit because it was that bad. But it was the people that I got a chance to try to learn from, to grow with, to meet. in the time that I took that visit, I was like, man, this is just a different place.
The biggest reason has probably been the play of their quarterback. KJ Black took over in the second half of the second game and has been undefeated as a starter ever since. If they're going to win this championship today, he's going to have to be a big part.
Took a chance on a place that didn't have a lot to offer, that had a bad tradition if you really look it up, but it ended up being one of the best decisions I ever made in my life. I just felt like they were a quarterback away. And hopefully I could go and contribute and be a part of something great, something that will last forever, you know, and we did it.
Screen to Favors, and there goes Favors down the sideline. He's in there, 49 yards. Black gets away, but to the end zone, wide open, touchdown. Prairie View has won their first championship since 1964. The turnaround is complete.
It was awesome. It's something that I always talk about, and definitely glad to be a part of that. Reputation was now starting to go back down after we won that championship, so it was an interesting time. I was working at a little mom and pop video store, and I got a call from the head coach at that time at Prairie View. He was actually my defensive coordinator when I played. He called me and asked me if I wanted to be a graduate assistant. And I had not called him and let him know I wanted to do anything coaching. It was just a random call. I knew I was going to coach. My dad was a coach. Being a GA at Prairie View was an experience because at that time we didn't have a lot. We just had the players, we had the football, we had a field. I was blessed to get an opportunity to become an assistant coach my 2 years as a GA. Willie Simmons was the new head coach, hired me on the spot. And then after the 3 years, Willie Simmons left and went to Florida A&M. I didn't go with him initially, but the second year I went, and that was 2019. And I was his quarterback coach the first year and then co-offensive coordinator the last two. Okay? You should be watching the game, you should know what's going on. Even the test will be on Just Play by Friday morning. All right, and it's gonna be film test. Meaning I'm gonna play a clip, I'm gonna ask you a question, you know what's going on. Yeah, I'm not playing around with y'all right now. Come on, put it out there, put it out there. You fading. Yeah, when you throw it, you like, yeah, you throwing it and you doing this. Finish all the way through it. In the coaching realm, you know, Willie Simmons is known for his offensive minds, offensive expertise, and being able to work with him, learn from him, learn how he saw the game, different things that he wanted to exploit when he looked at defenses. Definitely, you know, I definitely carry it with me now, being involved with him and having that opportunity to coordinate, to run a room, to run a full unit. You know, that opportunity definitely helped me, man. And then I did an internship here, and then they brought me back. So it's been a crazy ride so far.
All right, I got to give the disclaimer. I'm hot today. I'm hot. I just told you. I would have left. Babe, you know I wouldn't do you like that. If it was Bryce, I would have stood right next to him, but I wouldn't do you like that.
I think with anybody and everything that you're doing, like you have to be in the right space, and coming in every morning and seeing how he operates his tasks on a day-to-day basis, you know, it's pretty dope because, you know, a lot of times you can get kind of stuck in your own, like, okay, like, you know, how you're feeling, right? But then you go in and then you start talking to KJ and you're like, man, like, you know, like those special interactions is what football's about. Special guy. I mean, I think it's a lot of action that needs to be like taking place. Logos on shirts and logos on the fields is a good start, but you know, there's a lot of people that don't feel those changes, only see those changes on the TV, right? If it goes just as far as just that, you know, there's not really inspiring any type of change. It's just, you know, for aesthetic and presentation purposes. So I think, you know, action is always the first step.
And that's what I'm looking to do is you know, set the tone, and hopefully somebody else will get opportunity behind me, and we can keep it going and, you know, just do our part to continue to inspire change.